The people, the girls, the boys. The topics, the cities, the books, the toys. The models, the muscles, the health, the pride. The stories, the fashion, the gaze, the light. Our hotness, our blackness, and in the light. Welcome to 3LW TV. I'm Ronell Williams on location in Atlanta, Georgia. My special guests today are the cast of the hot new web series, Judys. The hot new web series, Judys, centers around a group of gay friends living in Atlanta. This comedy about drama navigates the hilarious adventures of four young men who experience many romantic, social, and sexual struggles associated with living in what is often dubbed the Black Gay Mecca. I sat down with two of the show's stars for a conversation which not only peeled back the layers of the show, but also revealed what life is really like for many young gay men today.
Leave the teddy bear. Our stock is plummeting.
Hey, cool, that's my friend.
That's what Facebook's for.
I don't need a flock of cackling queens follow me around everywhere to remind me of that. How many people can say the same thing about you?
I came across your show, I think it was on the cover, on the front page of BGC, which is where I have a lot of my videos featured. Don't try it, because the kids will try it. But I also came across yours there.
I thought of the concept of Judys about 5 years ago before I even moved here to Atlanta. I always knew that it would take place here in Atlanta because Atlanta has been the Black Gay Mecca for so long. But I didn't know anything about Atlanta. I'd never even been to Atlanta. I would just kind of Google Atlanta Pride and just try to get a feel of the city. That's how I discovered you. So I've been watching your videos for a while. And then about 2 years later, in 2010, I moved to Atlanta, and it kind of helped me get a feel of the city. But unfortunately, I got a little bit too caught up in Atlanta and partying. And now this year, I got my focus, and I've kind of drawn Judys from those years I spent out here as a party boy, like Harper is. And I have my Judys now.
So tell us about the character Harper.
Well, each character is based on a stereotype about gay men. I thought that if I put a stereotype on a three-dimensional character, it would kind of shatter the stereotype. So Harper's the party boy. He's the new kid in town, but he's all over town, even though he's only been here 3 weeks. He's originally from California, and in a short amount of time, he's met 3 friends that he's kind of been going out and hanging out with a lot. Mason is one of them.
Mason is that character that's kind of not confident about his sexuality. He's playing straight, playing gay. It's kind of, I wouldn't say dumb, but just more naive to say. I think a lot of gay males, not just Atlanta, but around the world, can relate to Mason as a character.
So how did you become a part of the cast?
Actually, through a mutual friend of ours who was at his house, and we was just watching TV, kicking it, drinking, whatever. And then he told me about the story and told me about the show, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. I can't act. I've never done it, but I tried it. He liked what he saw, and we just ran with it.
So have you been studying acting now that now that you are an actor?
Oh, he's Denzel now. What sets our show apart from the other ones, and there's quite a few other ones that I actually enjoy, is that I always tell people we're the gayest TV show not on TV. We're gay and we're okay with being gay. We actually love being gay. We're not trying to hide it. We're as gay as ever. We're gay and we have fun with it, and I feel like being gay is fun. I'm just as proud of being gay as I am of being black.
So what kind of feedback have you received from the audience? Because I know the kids can be brutal.
We've learned that very quickly. The feedback has been nice. It's been very nice. There's been some criticism that we may not be the best representation for gay men, but My thing is, no one that walks out the house represents for a whole group of people.
Right, not the entire community,
I
right.
can't handle that for you, baby. But I think we have something in there for everyone. You know, it is a show about 20-something gay guys in their 20s. They're going to make reckless mistakes. They're going to do stupid things. They're going to stay out. They're going to smoke. And, you know, they're not role models by any means, but that doesn't mean that we're a bad representation. I feel like if you aren't doing at least some of those things in your 20s, then you might be doing something wrong there. I'm happy to see that there are more people trying to increase our visibility. On TV, it's still an uphill battle.
Yeah, I feel like it's censored. You can't show certain things on TV that you can do on YouTube, but I feel it's getting better, but I feel like it's going to take more steps.
I know you're going to get a lot of flack about anything that's remotely flamboyant. So what do you offer to the masculine people in the community?
You know, the best comment that we've gotten so far was someone said something to the effect of, you know, I saw the first episode, I wasn't really feeling the show, just watched the second episode. I have to say, even though you guys have mostly feminine guys, I do think the inclusion of a somewhat masculine guy who's having sexual identity crises is a good balance. So that's good. There is something out there for everyone. Not everyone on the show is a big flaming queen, but at the same time, we celebrate those that are. I think there's so many double standards within the community. You know, we can be out at the club and, you know, be dancing with a guy who's twerking up something real serious, but if we see that same guy on YouTube doing it, then suddenly we have all these ugly comments to say, but really there's an audience of women and Tamar Braxton's who are Miley Cyrus's who are up there studying that gay guy who can twerk and trying to learn how to twerk like him. So we really need to lighten up and live for ourselves a lot harder than we do. Self-hate, a huge self-hate problem within the community. There's also no support. I mean, people can watch the show and all of that and make all these really ugly comments, and not just our show, all these shows out there that are very independent, which is not easy, but they aren't willing to put a nickel forward. You know, they aren't pitching in. You have to support your local gays that are trying to do something positive for the community. I'm not saying what we're doing is groundbreaking or anything, but I just think it would be cool if you went to a gay club and they played music by the gay artists that are trying to do something. Not everything can revolve around Beyonce's and everything like that. Twitter personalities. We have to show love to ourselves a lot more than we do and stop living, not completely stop living for other people, but live for ourselves a little bit harder. I look at the reports and numbers here in Atlanta, my age, my age bracket, our age bracket, and we see the numbers. We know people that have HIV and things like that, but in everyday conversation, no one's talking about that. And I don't like things where everything's under the carpet. We don't talk about it.
We have the education, so we know what we need to do to protect ourselves, but clearly we are not. So how do we address that?
We have to start talking about it more. We have to do more. We can't be so one-dimensional, especially our age bracket. That friend that you do know that does have it, talk about it. Don't just let it be something that's swept under the rug. You know, he told you he had the results and you still partying with him like nothing ever happened. It's happened to me, by the way. I like to talk about that. The stigma around it is also worse than the disease itself.
I think it's our mentality. As a young man, we think it's not going to happen to us. We can go out and have sex without condoms. We can drive drunk. We can cheat on our boyfriends. It's not going to happen to us. And I think that's the main problem. But like you said, it's more education, there's more reasons not to do it after seeing so many people die from it and so many people live with that disease. But like I said, just our mentality.
So you said something about cheating on boyfriends.
I had noticed.
Caller, you say what? So what is dating like in Atlanta? Because you hear a whole lot. Come on now, tell the truth. Stay in church.
Yeah, dating in Atlanta, it's an uphill. I mean, it's an adventure.
It's hard. And I haven't lived anywhere else but Atlanta. I'm from Columbus, Georgia. It's a small town in Georgia. But here in Atlanta, it's really hard. It's something to fight for and to fight when you have it. But it's serious.
What tips would you offer a young man that is coming to terms with his sexuality and trying to date, not just in Atlanta, but anywhere?
Well, as someone who's single and ready to jingle, I would just say know what you're ready for. Know if you're ready for a relationship. There's nothing wrong with being single. There's beauty, fun, all of that in being single. As much as we sit up here and complain about it, sometimes dating in Atlanta, it gives you a lot of good experiences. You meet a lot of good people.
So what was the turning point for you to start accepting more responsibility for your life? When you said you came here and you were a party boy for a couple of years,
Yeah.
What changed?
It got old. I mean, things happen so fast in gay world. That's why I write about Judys, and each episode picks up where the last one left off, because in one summer it seems like 2 lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? And 3 years of partying every night, and working and all that stuff. Now I felt was a good time for, okay, let me get it together.
So what was coming out like for you? Did you come out to your family? I mean, at this point, they're seeing you on a web series, I would assume, possibly. Or you could be acting, you could be playing gay for pay. Right.
It was an uphill battle as well. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more accepting from both sides of the family, but it wasn't. It took time to pull myself together to go around them. They are watching it. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. But they're cool with it now. It took time, like I said, but they love me for me, and I appreciate that, and I love them for them.
Well, I like to think of myself as a spiritual person. I can't really say that I can identify with any one religion right now. So,
Did you have it in your background growing up?
Jehovah's Witness was.
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel.
That's another show, huh? Jehovah's Witness is what I was raised to be, but that just didn't match who I was and who I was becoming as a child, trying to find out who I am. So.
And your family still Jehovah's Witness today?
Certain parts of my family.
And how do they interact?
You know, I feel like they're very tolerant of me and my lifestyle. Not that I need for anyone to be, but I think they look at me as Casey and not so much as gay Casey.
We grew up in the church, every Sunday church. I do have a relationship with God. It's my own relationship. It's not the typical something written down, read the Bible every day. It's my relationship with God, and I accept, and I appreciate that. I do go to church frequently, but it's not as much as I should. It's once a month or something like that. But yeah, I do have a strong relationship with God.
Are there a lot of gay people in your church here in Atlanta?
No, but I do want to visit one of the gay churches here just to try it out. But not that I can see that it's not a gay people.
It's interesting because when I first came here, there were a couple of churches that I went to before I found my church home here, which is very open, but it's not very gay. But I did go to a couple of other ones, and it was like, some of them were like being in the club. I was like, oh, okay.
The last time I went to church was a gay church out here, so. Yeah.
So for me personally, I'm not going to church to affirm or deny my sexuality. So I don't want to be in an all-gay church, and I don't want to be in an anti-gay church. I'm there for a whole different reason, for me personally. But it is interesting that you got a lot of variety.
I'm trying to find somebody out there, just living life.
And what are you looking for in somebody out there?
Did you catch the wink?
Right. Just a guy that's there for me, just somebody that likes outdoors, just to chill, just somebody that's comfortable in their own skin, somebody that's just cool, just a down-to-earth person.
Even if his skin is in a 355-pound body and he's unidentifiable by race and might bathe on occasion?
I see that. I see the personality. I don't see the weight, the race.
Let me pull out that publicity. Nah.
As
long as you're good to me.
Gonna start lightning?
Okay.
As long as you're good to me, I'm good to you. We can make it work.
No, and I don't say that to make fun of anybody that's heavy at all, but I think the whole no fats, no femmes, and like I said, the top, bottoms, and all those boxes that we put on one another, it further divides. Well, I want to thank the gentlemen of Judys for hanging out with me today on 3OW TV. Continued success with the show. It is just such an honor and pleasure. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm Lionel Williams of 3OW TV. I appreciate all of your love and support. Always stand in your light.
TV.